This interview is part of the History Heard project. The content of this interview may be used for historical research, however no part of the video itself may be reproduced without the express written permission of an authorized representative of History Heard or Tran Klein. Today is August 5th, 2010 at 2 p.m. This is an interview with Tran Klein in Bradenton, Florida. She was born January 15th, 1970 in Vietnam.
That's one of the things that kind of keeps me going whenever I feel as if, oh my gosh, oh, something bad's happened, you know. It's not so bad.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, so, I have so much love and respect for my parents, you know, and it's interesting because they're human, you know, I'm human, so you still have those things in terms of struggles within the family, when life hits, when things happen, when, you know, they make decisions where they're thinking, Mom, Dad, why are you doing that, you know, you understand that their experiences have formed who they are, mm-hmm. and so they are making decisions based on who they are, you know, and you have to respect that, you know, and even now it's interesting, you know, and I don't want to speak too much about what their lives are like now because I want them to have that privacy, you
right.
know, and these are just memories, my memories that I'm giving to you, and it's just, you know, there is so much in terms of the things that your parents sacrifice and give to you that you never, ever even realize, you know, and that you can't fully understand until you're an adult yourself. So it was about 10 years, 1985 was when my father came over to the United States and when we were finally reunited. At the time, we had moved from California to Illinois in, I believe it was in 1982. In 1982. My mom and my dad, you know, they had taken little jobs, 2 or 3 little jobs in the meantime until they could get some education, until they could get, you know, a profession, get
mm-hmm.
into a profession. So my mom and my dad first worked and became an electrical engineer for Siemens Gamasonics, mm-hmm. and then he was transferred over here. And then eventually my mom got a job at Siemens as well. And then I'm so proud of her because she worked her way up to computer-aided design engineer, the CAD
wow.
engineers, which, you know, nowadays are probably not needed.
Yeah.
But at the time that was significant because she had her associate's degree, but she hadn't gotten her bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me was one of those inspirational in terms of education. It's never too late. You keep working, and you get where you need to be. And so that's how we ended up in Illinois. My father came back and was reunited with my grandmother, and my father reunited with his mother and their family in California. And then my mom flew us over to meet him, you know. And it was so neat because it's like the outpouring of love that you have for
mm-hmm.
a parent, regardless of whether or not they understand you or whether or not you had similar experience. I mean, the gap was huge in terms of his experiences
right.
versus ours, and yet the love was there, you know. And
mm-hmm.
so it wasn't as if you were meeting a stranger, you know. This was our father. And I think it may have been a little more difficult for my sister to embrace him in that way because she was so young and she didn't have memories of him the way I did. You know, because, for example, I remembered his army boots. I remember, you know, putting my feet in them. I remember, you know, those memories. I remember him making a parcheesi board for us so that we could have a game to play, you know. So it was interesting in that respect. And it was neat to get to know him again, you know. And then, you know, over the years, we continued to meet up over the summer. My mom would fly us over to California. And one of the things that I've really respected from my father, too, is that he gave up custody of us without any because he wanted a better life for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wanted us to have our lives uninterrupted as much as possible. He did remarry as well, and has two wonderful stepchildren that, you know, whenever we meet up, you know, it's like we're cousins.
Uh-huh.
You know, they take us out. We, we eat in California, in Bolsa. You know, we eat at the restaurants, the Vietnamese restaurants there. All that, so it's fun. You know, it's fun. And then, you know, when we got married, and this was, you know, in terms of jumps, the next meaningful, wonderful moment in my life was, and I had the conversation separately with my dad and with my father, because I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable, but I wanted both of them to be able to walk me down the aisle. Now that I'm Americanized and had the American portion of the wedding as well as the Vietnamese portion of the wedding, my dad, I approached first, and I asked him if it was okay if, you know, either they both walked me down, or if my father walked me down for a portion, and then my dad walked me down the rest away to my husband, Greg. And my dad asked if you could think about it, which, again, I fully respected.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's okay if you don't feel comfortable with it, you know, but I am asking you to consider it. And he, the next day, you know, he caught me, and he said, it's okay, you know, and he agreed that, you know, he would feel more comfortable if my father walked me for part of the way, and then he would walk me the rest of the way. And then I went to my father and asked him if that was okay with him. And, you know, of course, my father would do anything for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, he was fine with it. And that's what happened on our wedding day. And it meant so much to me. It just meant so much to me. It's just, and there's this one picture of after my father had given me away to my dad, and where he's just looking on. It's one of my favorite photographs within our family, all time so far. And so that's basically some of my memories. I mean, there are a lot of memories there, but those are some of the most, you know, I think the most indelible, the ones that have made a huge mark on my